And were you disappointed?
Yes. I arrived in Zhongli and I cried. And I thought I'd made the worst decision of my life. I don't think this has happened to many people in life, let alone in Taiwan. Was my husband and I went to get our oil changed at the scooter shop, and the guy kept on offering me. My name is Lucy, or Mama Lucy, and I am from England, and I'm here in Taiwan teaching English. I have 2 children that I have given birth to and raised in Taiwan. I feel like when I teach, the children think of me as family and not as a teacher.
How long have you been in Taiwan?
I've been in Taiwan for 14 years.
14 years. Wow. You must almost been accustomed to almost everything in Taiwan.
I don't think you can ever get used to everything here in Taiwan. Every day is new and exciting.
Can you speak Chinese?
I can speak a little Chinese when I need to.
May I ask, what part of Taiwanese culture do you find mostly fascinating?
The family dynamics, the fact that families are so close here in Taiwan. They will live together or live near each other. They will help raise each other's children. And I think in Western cultures, we will move out at around 18 years old. But here in Taiwan, people will continue to live with their parents and be supported by their parents until they're married and ready to raise their own families. And then they might continue to live there. And the same, when they get a good enough job, they will use their income or use their skills to help support their parents and grandparents. And I think that is really special.
If you had to introduce any culture from your country, what British culture would you introduce Taiwan?
If I was to share British culture with Taiwan and it could stick, it would be the work to live and not live to work. I think in the UK, most people have a really good work-life balance. While in Taiwan, the family dynamic is so good, the friendships are not as strong because as adults, people don't have time to make friends outside of their workplace. And so their friendships are the same friendships that they had when they were at school or in university. But as adults, it's really important to make new friendships because you grow and you develop, and having that culture of people coming to your house, popping in, having a cup of tea, sharing life experiences and supporting each other, where blood isn't holding you together, but a good connection and having similar values keeps you connected and helps you to grow. I think that's really important, and I'd love to share that with Taiwanese people. I wish they had more time to adventure and create and learn and have more experiences.
Connect with other people around them, yeah. Are you able to make friends here with the local Taiwanese?
Making friendships is one of the hardest parts of living in Taiwan, with the language barrier and the cultural differences. It's not easy to make Taiwanese friends. If we're realistic, even in our own countries where we have similar experiences and we can communicate easily, it's not always easy to find people that you click with, that you can have that bond with. And so when you take away the language and you take away the familiarity, the similarities, it's difficult to form those close connections. I'm not saying I don't have amazing Taiwanese friends, I do, but it took me a long time to make those friendships and make them as strong as they are now. And making friends with other foreigners is heartbreaking because as soon as you get close to somebody, they leave.
Yeah. What's the reason why you come to Taiwan?
I came to Taiwan when I was 22 years old, and I was backpacking in Malaysia. I met a group of people that told me that they were English teachers here in Taiwan, and They sold it to me. They told me how fantastic life was here and how nice the people were, how good the food was, how different the culture, the sounds, the smells, the tastes. And as a 22-year-old backpacker, I was so intrigued that I jumped on a plane just a few days later and turned up on their doorstep.
Okay, interesting. And were you disappointed? Well, did Taiwan meet your expectation?
Yes. I arrived in Zhongli and I cried because everything was so grey. The buildings were grey and the floor was grey and the sky was grey that day. It was hot and it was grey, and I thought I'd made the worst decision of my life. And I quickly learned that it was the best decision of my life, because once I started to see past the greyness, there's a whole lot of light in Taiwan, in the people and in the culture, and all the things that they'd told me were true. I just needed to look past the initial the initial outlook of grey, and Taiwan and Zhongli have come a long way in the last 14 years. I have to say, there's much less grey.
What did you find special, unique, or strange?
People walking their pets in Taiwan always gives me a good laugh. People taking their birds to the beach or taking their pig to the park cracks me up. Seeing couples with their geese in strollers amazes me. So that one is a positive. A negative shock for me in Taiwan is the green man and the green light running at the same time. Shouldn't happen. If I could bring anything from my country, it would be that, actually. I take back my last answer. If it's a green man, it means it's safe to cross. It does not mean that there is a green light around the corner and people are going to come around the corner where they can't see you and possibly knock you down. And it upsets me that I can't teach my children how to cross a road, because there is no safe way to cross a road here in Taiwan.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a very valid
And I
point.
don't think it's intentional. I don't think people are intentionally driving dangerously. I also drive a car, and if I see that I have a green light and I can turn left, and there's loads of cars coming, and finally there's a gap and it's safe to turn left, and then suddenly somebody walks across the road and now I'm in the middle of the road. You couldn't see that there were people on the pavement 2 lanes over when there were cars coming. You just found a gap and you went, and I think it is so extremely dangerous. Makes zero sense whatsoever. And in Taiwan, just driving in general, there are so many distractions. There is so much going on that to focus on getting from A to B safely for you and your family and for other people is already a mission. Don't add the extra danger by putting a green light and a green man at the same time.
At the same time.
That's my rant. I'm
good,
done.
Very valid point. You talked about in Taiwan you have to shower every day. Is it different how people shower in the UK?
In the UK, we don't shower every day. Not everybody showers every day because it's cold. It's too cold to shower every day. And because bills are really expensive. Water and electricity, gas is very expensive. And also because we just don't feel the need. If you don't go anywhere, you don't necessarily need to shower. And if you do shower, you'll shower in the morning before you go to work or before you go to meet your friends. But in Taiwan, people shower to go to bed. I don't think a bed is necessarily a clean place. And if your bed is clean, you should use it more. You're using it for the wrong things. I do change my sheets, guys. Maybe just cut all that.
What was your most awkward moment in Taiwan?
Oh, there were so many. I'm an awkward person. One of my most awkward moments in Taiwan was going for a job at a very well-known chain cram school. When I first came to Taiwan, I had to do a demo at this chain cram school, and I just could not follow the sentence pattern. For the life of me, I couldn't understand why they would only stick to the script, nothing else but the script. And I failed that demo so badly. I can't even remember what the sentence pattern was, but maybe it was like, I like to eat, and then you had fruit, bananas, apples. And I'd be like, oh, Ben, what do you like to eat? And he'd be like, I like to eat apples. And I'm like, oh, Susan, do you like to eat apples? And they're like, mm-mm. And I'll be like, oh, sorry, Susan, what do you like to eat? And Susan's like, I like to eat apples. And I'm like, good job, Susan, fantastic. So, Jeff.
How about you?
Yeah, I'd be like, what fruit do you like to eat? And they're like, what's wrong with her? Why can she not? Sorry, Jeff, what do you like to eat? And I just could not. Because I think it's just so unrealistic that anyone would use exactly, yes, the sentence pattern is on the board. I can say, what would you like to eat? And when you look at me confused, I'm going to change it. Oh, what about apples? Do you like to eat apples? What other fruit do you like to eat? Do you like to eat bananas? And they were like, just ask the question. If you don't ask the question, our kids do not know what you're talking about. You have to stick to the question. And it was just so awkward because I had all these children looking at me and the boss just like glaring at me, and I couldn't figure out. Now, all these years later, I understand that a lot of the time learning English in Taiwan is about following the script and not learning how to communicate freely. And I should not work in one of those places. I had one teacher, like a Taiwanese teacher, take me into a classroom and teach me how to write the alphabet on the board. And I was like, I got this far in life without apparently knowing how to write the alphabet. They're so embarrassing. But they were like, no, a Y cannot curl. Like a Y had to...
Yeah. Just do that and just like, yeah.
Yeah, no, I was taught. Probably the other most awkward moment, and I don't think this has happened to many people in life, let alone in Taiwan, was my husband and I went to get our oil changed at the scooter shop, and the guy kept on offering me breast milk to drink. And I see your face. I have no idea why he was offering me breast milk, and it didn't matter how many times I turned it down. He went to the fridge and started pouring me a glass, and he was quite offended that I didn't want to drink, well, I was going to say his breast milk, but I guess it wasn't his as such. Don't know. That was about 10 years ago, and I guess it didn't catch on because I haven't been offered again since.
All right, guys, before we continue from here, Ching Bia Wanji, Ding Yue, Anjan, 开始少年当帮我们分享，如果你可以的话。A Chinese teacher told me this. She was in the classroom. She was saying, she said in England, that is a place where people can go and get breast milk. Probably he might think that you know about it. And
no. Not if I'd known, I would have opened my own cafe when I was after giving birth. I could have made millions.
What do you miss having in your country and not having it here in Taiwan?
Oh, I miss a good carpet. Feeling my feet on a carpet. Yes. And
Okay.
wallpaper. Carpets and wallpaper.
Wallpaper.
Yes. I miss a home feeling warm, because in Taiwan homes are built to feel cold in the summer. Mm-hmm. And when it's winter, I want that warmth of a good carpet on the floor and wallpaper.
What advice would you give to a first-time visitor in Taiwan?
I would recommend getting involved, joining clubs, activities, groups, language exchanges, meeting people, and pushing yourself to be part of the community, whether it's volunteering or just finding a hobby that you can do here that will help you to make friends and understand what Taiwan is about, because the people here make it what it is. Like, I think if you came here without making friendships and talking about life here with the locals, you'd be missing out greatly. Giving up your expectations of what things should look like and should be done. There are many different ways to do things in life, and so learning, instead of judging, but learning that there are different ways to get from A to B. And also, when you stop enjoying it, leave. If you don't enjoy being here anymore, don't complain about it. Don't bring other people down. Taiwan is not for everyone. No place can be everybody's favorite place, and that is fine. You should leave while things are positive rather than staying on and giving the rest of us a bad name.
What is the most difficult challenge that you had to overcome or you've yet to overcome?
One of my biggest challenges in Taiwan is accepting the schooling system, because as a mum, it's really difficult for me to see my children at school for so many hours of the day, and my influence on them is actually very little compared to their teachers' influence on them, and I struggle with knowing that, and I struggle with what I can do besides homeschooling to deal with that. Lots of children are taught to listen and follow the rules and not question them. And I think it's really important to question things in life. Whether you're a child or an adult, questioning will help you to develop. And so I think I'm a Ma-Fan parent because I question everything and I encourage my children to question everything. And I have to say, my youngest son is in a Taiwanese kindergarten, and it is play-based and it is fantastic. And the children, they explore and they grow vegetables and they build, and they have so much freedom to be themselves and to develop their personalities. And yet, in the same system, they go to grade 1 and all of that freedom is removed. And I think that is very difficult for children to adapt to. Like suddenly going from being encouraged to be creative and to be yourself to being encouraged to sit down for 8 hours, 9 hours a day and listen. That's
You teach. What else do you do here in Taiwan?
Right now in Taiwan, I am running my own company. I have an online teaching platform, and I am also working with Amy Road, where we teach adults.
You want to learn English, an adult, or you have a children that wanted to learn English. Your links, is it a Facebook, Instagram, and the website links? All will be in the description below. You can go check Lucy out. What part of Taiwanese culture or the society do you think might need improvement?
I find maintenance in Taiwan interesting because I think most people feel like buying new beats repairing something old, whether it's a car or a house or even a park or hiking trails. There are always new things popping up, new buildings popping up, new cars being sold. But we don't seem to feel the need to fix what's broken and improve what's already there. Instead of letting old buildings get run down, maintain those communities. Or instead of letting old hiking trails overgrow, like cut them back and let people enjoy what Taiwan already has to offer. We don't always need to be offering something new to the people because we already have so many great things here. So I'd say just maintaining all the fabulous things that Taiwan already has is something that I would love to see in the future.
Do you have anything else to tell Taiwanese people?
Very grateful to be here in Taiwan. I'm grateful to have been given these life experiences. So thank you guys for welcoming me with open arms. And I'm saying that before I've read the comments. So maybe I should maybe I should wait. But so far so good. Thanks guys.
All right, thank you very much and hope you continue to enjoy your stay here in Taiwan.
Thank you.
Thank you. 请不要忘记订阅、按赞、开启小铃铛，帮我们分享。如果你可以的话。